It's April 6th. I'm going to talk about probably one of my favorite moments on this trip entirely. And believe it or not, it's not a place, it's a person. So when we got to Egypt, I'm going to admit it, you're going to pick up, when we see people, we get judgments right away, or we think we know who they are. There was this guy, so we walk into the Ritz-Carlton. Yeah, we were actually at a Ritz-Carlton for a couple days. And the guides are there. I hadn't seen him in 7 years, and Elon and blah, blah. And there's this guy, old guy, sitting over kind of in the corner, and he's sitting in, it's not like like a wheelchair, but it's one of those kind of things you can use as a walker, but you can sit in. And he's kind of sitting, and he's got his hands down, but he's just staring, right? And I'm like, who the hell is this dude? And I'm thinking, and now granted I'm tired, right? I haven't slept for 24 hours, but I was like, is that Hasham's dad? And this is what they do in Egypt, where he's kind of caring for him throughout the day? Like, who is this guy? He's literally just sitting there staring. And then we went to eat, and I'm like, there he is again. And he was just like, I shouldn't even say it like this, but like, weekend at Bernie's, but he was alive. And I was like, who is this dude? And so we had to go down the stairs when we got on the cruise ship, and they were literally like helping to carry him down. And he was always looking. So I didn't pay him too much mind. And then I found out that her name was Rodwa. She was one of the women that's kind of a big part of the company that we were there with, tourist company. And that was the daughter of this guy. And her mom was there too. They were traveling. They were just checking things out. She was helping. She's amazing. And so I don't know if he's the owner of it all, but he's up there. I wasn't really paying attention to it, but he's up there. And so one day we stayed back from a trip, Jennifer and I, and he was sitting up at the Nile up there, and he had his computer open. And he's just on his computer working. And I'm like, okay. And he says, are you enjoying yourself? I said, yeah. And then he said, you getting enough to eat? And I'm like, oh yeah. And he said to me, don't eat everything you want to eat. Don't worry about gaining any weight. He didn't say gaining weight, but don't worry about what you eat. When you go home, you'll slim down. You eat as much as you want to eat. And I'm thinking, yeah, no, don't tell me that. And we had talked some more small talk. And then I watched him, because we were sitting up there. He was on his computer all day long working. This dude is sharp as a tack, like sharp. And I recognized, so every time I'd see him, I'd wave at him and he'd wave back. And I recognized that his body is giving out on him a little bit. But his mind and who he is he's an amazing, amazing soul. I wish he was my dad. It kind of tears me up. And I kind of wrote him off as just being an old dude. And he is one of the most soulful, smart, cares about people around him. So what I was calling staring, was him really paying attention to the surroundings. Are people happy? Like, what's going on? And at the end of the trip, I was able to give him a hug and get a picture with him. And I don't even know his name. Rod was dad. That's what I know him by. Rod was dad. And he doesn't even know it. Maybe he does on a soul connection, how much he meant to me. And still, he will always hold a special place in my heart. And then when I was looking at pictures of him, he was always dressed really well for dinner and stuff. I mean, one of the coolest souls I've ever met. Don't ever judge a person by their looks, ever. And I would say that I don't, but I did, and I got a good kick in my ass. And if that's what it was about, yeah, I told him I can't wait to meet him in another lifetime. He was like a soul brother. Anyway, think about how you react to people that you see anywhere, and understand that's not who they really are. I look forward to talking with you again tomorrow.